Good Friday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. What's happened to the temperatures? Last I checked, today is April the 5th, and it's 4 days after April Fool's Day, and I got temperatures in the 30s and around 40. It's colder. It's about 35 with the wind chill, but let's show you where we stand here at 6:40 in the morning. Do you know it's 34, now 35 in Crossville? Did you know it's 34 in Jamestown? It's 36 degrees in Oneida, cold enough to see your breath, while it may be still 40 here in the heart of Knox County. Knoxville, McGee-Tyson is reporting 40, but you may have a different, maybe a similar temperature. I'd love to hear about that on both Facebook and YouTube. We got a lot to cover today because I want to also, I call this my special total solar eclipse live stream edition, because we got to get you prepared if you're interested in seeing that. Will we have good conditions? Because if it's clear and sunny, what do I need a meteorologist for? But if you have clouds and maybe even severe storms in the path of totality, we're talking about the entire United States, wouldn't you want to know about it? So we're going to cover that. I hope you'll stay with me. But temperature right now 40, feels like 35 at McGee-Tyson Airport, 37 in Morristown, White Pine, and Talbot in the mid to upper 30s. Visibility not an issue, but we have some breaking news, and I say this tongue-in-cheek. Angie, Daniel Hodge, says we had some snow flurries in Farragut. No, not in April. It doesn't snow in April, and it was green. It shows it should have been rain. Well, sometimes that's just an algorithm. That's just a formula that probably was rain, but for the observation that Angie noticed, it was snowflakes. May have been a combination of both. So sometimes the computer, the radar, takes an average. I see blue in the Smokies. Yes, they will have had inches of snow by the time they measure it today, once the sun comes up. But it was around 11:30 last night when she posted this. I think it was 11:27 to be precise. Our friend Angie Daniel Hodge reported snow flurries in Farragut. Can you imagine? Snow flurry? Oh, I can't believe that. That's amazing. Anyway, by the way, the ultimate Doppler radar not showing much other than maybe some pockets of drizzle around Union County and Granger County. As I've indicated, drizzle would be possible today in spots, and even some stray mountain flakes will be possible in spots. But the winter weather advisory did expire officially at 5 o'clock this morning. It is now 6:42, as you can see, and we have some frost advisories in place until that's tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central. So our friends in Crossville, our friends in Cumberland County, as I've dropped my clicker, I got to go down and pick it up, you'll notice that the frost advisory runs until tomorrow morning. And it also affects Fentress County. We have freeze watches in kind of a, I guess you could call it a teal, very light color here. Freeze watch for Bell County and freeze warnings for McCreary. All this is going to expand because we have some cold mornings still ahead. And I wouldn't be surprised if we have some frost concerns in Knoxville. Again, these are indicated by our friends at the Weather Service, both in Nashville, Jackson, and Morristown. 3 offices do govern our region. By the way, the ultimate Doppler radar shows the last 8 hours. I mean, look at how these colors on the map have changed. And the ultimate Doppler radar showing you what was 8 hours ago, a couple of flakes that came in. But they came in through the Smokies. The purple areas in the Smokies disappeared around 5 o'clock this morning. So that did expire probably right on time, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, maybe even before 5 o'clock, maybe around the 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock hour. But either still, very happy to have that to show you. By the way, Madlock Tire Service and Auto Repair, my sponsor for the Ultimate Doppler Radar, is East Tennessee's #1 tire service and auto repair since 1953. Check them out. They're in Knoxville, Maryville. They're also located in places like Lenoir City, Athens, and you can find them in Hardin Valley. So if you're in need of an oil change this weekend, maybe you'd like to have your tires rotated, they do that and do it so efficiently. And they can also change the tires, give you a all new set of tires, because a great set of tires this spring starts with Madlock. Very thankful for them. And hopefully you've had a chance maybe to try them, maybe because they've been around for generations. They've been around for over 70 years. Very thankful for Madlock Tire. If you're on the call, would love to say hi to you as I'm going to check in with you. But this is the radar picture. Kind of interesting, right? This is not what you expect in early April. And we'll be talking about down the road, is this the last of the cold? We'll have to check that out. By the way, note today, yesterday we hit 50. I said 51. Well, it was 51 in Oak Ridge. But it was only 50 yesterday in Knoxville. Expect a similar day. I have us at 51 today. The low came in just around midnight, shortly thereafter, 43. And then, of course, we had a trace of light rain. Angie had some snowflakes in Farragut. And then we had 68 degrees, normal high this time of year. But it's interesting, the record high, are you ready for this? Is from last year, 2023. How warm do you think we got on this day last year? Because it's like a flip of a coin. Last year it was 89 degrees. On the 5th of April, yeah, imagine that, 89 degrees, record high for today. And today we'll be lucky to get past 50 in most locations. I've got 51 in Knoxville. So if you're on the call, Felicia says, happy Friday. Dogwood Trails open this weekend. Come to South Knoxville for our market tomorrow at Commonplace Coffee 10 to 2. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Felicia. She's also one of my premium members. Danny says, good Friday morning. David, hope you have a great day. Go Vols. And Diane Ladyhawk saying, good morning, everyone. Fred's also on here saying, good morning, Friday. Good Friday morning. Very happy to have you here. And I'm going to check YouTube here on my phone in just mere moments. But I want to show you the radar, all the colors representing freeze and frost concerns, freeze watches in parts of southeastern sections of Kentucky, and it may grow. While it may still be snowing, as you can see here in New England, they're piling up snow in April. Oh, what? That's absurd. Who does that? It should be spring. Well, it should be, but we had a lot of spring and winter, folks, so it's not uncommon to have winter in spring. It's just one of those things. It's just sometimes the way the cookie crumbles. Very interesting to see. I got 2 people watching on YouTube, and I got to turn this down so I can hear. But if you have a comment, Michael Hawk, he's on here. He's telling me, I got my phone here. Michael Hawk says, good morning. Hope everyone is staying warm. Isn't that interesting? I have to stay warm, not only this morning, but tomorrow morning, and so on. But we'll talk about that in the 7 days. We'll get back to the radar. Big picture shows more fire concerns in pink out west, where they're concerned about any wildfires spreading quickly with the dry relative humidity, low relative humidity, that is, and some strong winds. 36 is our current reading in Rockwood. If you're just joining me, it's 646. 37 is currently our current temperature in Newport, and our temperature in Jamestown, believe it or not, is 34 degrees. The record low this morning is 24. We are nowhere near 24, and thankfully we're not going there. But that occurred on this date in 1881, a long time ago. Wind speed right now is 7 miles an hour, so that gives us the wind chill of 35 degrees. Wow, 35. That's how, and it feels like it's 29 in Jonesville. 29 in Jonesville. Amazing how this cold air, it feels like 30 in Jamestown. The wind gusts may be pretty much confined to the Smokies at this time. Now you'll notice with the spin coming down from the north-northwest, we're going to continue to keep a lot of clouds in place today. We may get some intervals of sun, but at the same time, as we saw on the radar a moment ago, we could still get spots of drizzle, maybe even some stray mountain flakes. The most of the snow issue has faded away, but temperatures are still in the 30s in Nashville. It's 35 Jackson, Tennessee. And it's 35 Jackson, Kentucky. They match. Isn't that something? Same temperature, same name of the town, different state. One's a Commonwealth, one's a state. But it's interesting. 45 in Memphis and even Augusta, Georgia, down to 37 degrees. I'm sure they're not too thrilled as they prepare for the Masters. Okay, tracking the clouds. You can see all the clouds in place, right? These are kind of like low clouds that are just going to hover overhead. Our sun comes up at 7:16, goes to bed at 8:02 now. That's good. And tonight, the clouds will slowly decrease. And what's that going to do? That's like removing the blanket from a bed that's keeping you warm. And suddenly you start to shiver. You lose the clouds on a cold day. We're going to go back into the lower 30s tonight. That's my expectation. I have us down to 33 degrees. You're like, no, please say no. 33. That's why I suspect our friends at the Weather Service, if they do put a frost advisory out, it'll come later today. Bus stop forecast. 40, 41, 49, still chilly. A little bit of sun thrown in there for good measure, but I do think it's a chilly day. Again, normal high is 68. We are nowhere near there. We're 17 degrees below normal if we hit my expectation of 51. Now, yesterday, my expectation was 51, and we hit 50. As I mentioned, Oak Ridge hit 51, so it might be splitting hairs 1 degree here or there, but many of us may not even get out of the 40s. I'm looking at you, Morristown. May not get out of the 40s. I'm looking at you, Newport. And if you're in, say, Oneida, you may not get out of the 40s today. It's just one of those things. By the way, the total solar eclipse is just now 3 days away. Now, this is something spectacular. I've talked about this for days, but it's one of those things that if you miss this train, you miss this boat, you got to wait 20 years. You got to wait till 2044. What's 3 days or 20 years? I'd rather wait 3 days than wait 20 years. That's a long time to wait for what some would consider the Super Bowl of astronomy. I place, in my personal opinion, the Northern Lights as number 2, but this is certainly number 1. There's something spectacular about the total solar eclipse, and it's just 3 days away. Total solar eclipse is going to be following this path, but there may be some nasty storms in Texas. Oh, they'll be angry down there, I'm told. I'm sure they would be, or disappointed. disappointed may be a better word. Think about all the hubbubaloo and all maybe the hype, because it is kind of a spectacular event for some that may not know how fun it is and how extraordinary it is, to have all that expectation build up and then not be able to see it. It's kind of like what we've had lunar eclipses before where it's cloudy. It's like, why am I talking about it? Because you can't see it, right? Some folks may not be able to see it, and that's where a meteorologist comes in, may help out. But I do want to mention this. How many of you remember this? I think many of us, I got my glasses ready for a trip. Our premium members, we're going on a trip. We're not sure where we're going. Could be Ohio, could be Arkansas, could be southeastern Missouri. But how many of you, I have a t-shirt, I'll put this up here. This is from August the 21st, 2017. Yesterday, I said it was August 17th. I was thinking of the year. But this was August 21st. I was in Madisonville, Tennessee. Beautiful, had nothing but clear skies. So we had great viewing for it. The challenge this go around, 7 years later, is the sky condition. If it's overcast, like it will be a lot today, just not going to see it. So pinpointing the key time here, as we look at the track, the time is all important. And we're talking about those times in the Central Daylight Time, Eastern Daylight Time, between 1, 2, and 3 in the afternoon. So it could rain in the morning. That'd be fine, as long as it's clear during these times. That's what's key. And a lot of folks, I know, will bear a lot of traffic, congestion, and on the roads. A lot of folks are going to be maybe leaving Texas to go chase where the skies are clear. I'm thinking Maine, right? New England might have the best chance for clear skies and no clouds. But we'll be watching this very closely. What about Knoxville? Still think it's mostly cloudy here. I know a lot of kids are getting out of school. You might say, I didn't see nothing. Well, that's possible too. But this is not the place to be if you want the full, true experience, because we're only in that 80 to 90% of totality, right? We're not going to have the same experience if you're in the path, and that path is up toward Cleveland, it's up toward Indianapolis, it's in southeastern sections of Missouri, and it's in places like Little Rock and Conway, Arkansas. But again, knowing where the path is just half the battle. The other half is trying to figure out, will it be clear or will there be too many clouds to obscure your view? We'll be watching this very closely, and I will keep my premium members updated throughout the weekend, so I'd love to have you join us. By the way, headlines at 6:52. My goal is to be done at the top of the hour. Clouds, stray mountain flakes today. Still could occur, and even some drizzle for us. That's still a possibility too. Clouds decrease tonight, and I'm expecting a mostly sunny Saturday. It will start cold, but we'll finish Saturday in the upper 50s. That's my expectation. I want to say good morning to you. Lana Johnson says good morning from Kodak. She says, brr, it's cold. Everyone have a blessed day. Great to have you here, Lana. I hope, and you have 2 virtual cups of coffee. I'll share in that. Fred says y'all have a safe and blessed weekend. I know a lot of folks are going to be watching Final Four as well, as we've got now down to the last couple of games. Meanwhile, the Futurecast, is this the last of the cold? Short answer, not a chance. Oh, it's got to be the last of the flakes. Well, Angie thought so maybe until she saw flurries in Farragut last night, 11:30. But no, it's really cold right through tomorrow morning. You can see all that in light blue and blue. We've got a very cold pocket of air. It's snowing pretty good in places like New England right now and upstate New York. But once we move into the rest of next week, it turns a little rainy. It does warm enough for rain. But then it gets chilly again by the middle of the month. Oh. But that's got to be the last of it, right? Middle of more like 12th of April. Certainly, dogwood winter goes into other types of winters in Tennessee. But certainly, that's got to be the last of it. Is it? Maybe no. Well, it warms up nicely. Maybe by tax day and beyond. But then it gets cold again by the 17th. So again, it's back and forth. We're still in a battle of seasons. And this is what's remarkable. Look at all the new snow projected in April in New England and in the Rockies. You can still see new paint bombs of blue and pink. Pink's about 12 inches of snow. It's still going up toward Minnesota. Winter's kind of like had a late start into the early part of spring. It's just amazing, but there's still potential. Even the mountains of West Virginia could pick up over 3, 5, 7 inches of snow, it would appear, and even our Smokies could see more snow as well. Temperature right now, 40 degrees. We have a 7-mile-an-hour wind, but there's the wind chill. A 7-mile-an-hour wind is cold enough or strong enough to make it feel like it's 5 degrees colder. Feels like it's 35 at this time. Diane later says she just opened the door. She's got the shivering teeth emoji going on there, and I think that's funny. Ironic that we've had it. Now, as far as temperatures today, that my moniker did not update this as much, still from yesterday, but it still applies, right? It may not be 30%. We can erase that, but we'll be around 51 degrees this afternoon, starting off much of the day in the 30s. Very cold. But the rainy pattern Comes back in earnest on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Still some showers possible here on Monday, which may even obscure the 80 to 90% totality, disk, the moon in front of the sun that might actually inhibit some viewing. Here's what we see on the severe risk for today. Nothing throughout the lower 48, just some general thunderstorms out west near Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and up toward Billings, Montana. So really a quiet day today. But as far as what builds tomorrow, will be in the Midwest. So if you have family out here, the Captain Accurate weather app, which is free, also works all across the country and really with lightning all around the world and even tropical weather around the globe. But the spots to watch for Saturday would be around Manhattan, Kansas, just to the west around Topeka. They could get some isolated severe storms. Even places like Emporia, Nebraska, might have some scattered severe storms. There might be some isolated severe storms around Tulsa, Kansas City, and Omaha. While things are pretty quiet here, this storm system is going to work its way in our direction on Sunday, producing some isolated severe storms in dark green. The Storm Prediction Center thinks we have the risk for some lightning. I have a better chance of just some spotty rain. That's about all I expect on Sunday. Sunday night might be different with some convection or some thunder, but that's what they're illustrating on that Sunday map. And this is what's fascinating. This is Monday, right? Severe risk, 15%. Let's zoom back out. Where is there a problem? I remember there was a path of totality in Texas. I don't think the folks in Texas, especially Dallas, are going to like the fact that there's a risk for some severe weather on the day of the eclipse. So I'm already suspecting that anyone who is an eclipse chaser, and there are those, just like there are storm chasers, there are people that go all over the globe. They don't care if it's in Australia, they don't care if it's in South America, they will go to wherever the total solar eclipse is. They'll get in a car, they'll get in a vehicle, they'll get on a train, they'll go someplace where skies are clear. They may not feel like Texas is the place to be on Monday. Even the Storm Prediction Center thinks there's a risk of 15% chance of severe weather on Monday. So I just thought I'd throw that out there, trying to give everyone a heads up. By the way, this is what we're seeing in terms of flakes today. This puts a few more flakes in southeastern Ohio, southeastern Kentucky, maybe around Harlan County, maybe even perhaps into the mountains of West Virginia by midday today. So this is what it may appear if you're doing some traveling. Still some drops, still possible. I have some drizzle today and stray mountain flakes. Heading into tomorrow, it is mostly sunny. It will be nice and bright, and Saturday's high should be in the upper 50s to near 60. I think 58 is comfortable for me in the shade for tomorrow. But as far as what we see on Sunday, that's why I left some spots of rain. There's midday, a couple of showers west of Bowling Green, a couple of showers around Jackson, Tennessee, midday on Sunday. And then by 5 o'clock Sunday, it starts to lift back up toward Kentucky. And it's not until late Sunday night. That's where we may get a rumble of thunder, potentially, but a couple of showers do come in. I left a 30% chance of rain on Monday, but that's the time that we are going to be working its way through the total solar eclipse, right? It's between 2 and 3 o'clock in many cases, 3:30 in some cases, as I've showed the times momentarily ago. But as far as the futurecast today, expect plenty of clouds, some intervals of sun. By lunchtime today, should be around 47, should be around mid-40s at noon time. By 5 o'clock today, we're lucky to get to 51. In the heart of the valley, 48 Crossville, 48 Moorestown, about 49 for Sevierville. And then heading into tonight, these clouds will decrease rapidly, and that will allow these temperatures to drop. So we're looking at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. You can see we still have some clouds, but they should start to break enough to allow temperatures to fall like so. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, if it's below freezing in Crossville, Jamestown, don't be surprised. Frost will be a concern, and certainly you want to cover up any potted plants that might be exposed to the elements. But at least tomorrow, your Saturday, the day that perhaps a lot of us live for, because we're working all during the week, going to work and school, live for the weekend, so to speak, we should be around 52 at lunchtime and finish the day about 58 to near 60 by 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon. So that's where things are, and we have maybe a little more chill, certainly more chill going in Saturday night. So our forecast for today, clouds, plenty of them, intervals of sun, spots of drizzle, and some stray mountain flakes. Winds will be about 5 to 10, and we're right now at 7, so we're right there squarely in my expectation for wind. 51 for a high in Maryville is my expectation. 48 Morristown. I'm expecting a high in La Follette at 52 there in Campbell County. Now, if you're traveling today, as cold as it is at the Masters, right, in Augusta, 66 is where they should finish, but they're in the upper 30s, 37 right now. 58 Maryville. 60 for a high in Chattanooga is what I expect this afternoon. It is now 7 o'clock straight up, giving you the forecast and finishing on time. 33 tonight, Clouds decrease, cold with some patches of frost. Winds about 3 to 8 out of the north-northwest. Tonight we're down to 32 in Middlesboro. I expect 33 Newport. And a little colder in Wartburg there at 30 degrees to start your Saturday morning. It's going to be a cold start, no doubt. Here's your forecast, the Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville and East Tennessee. 51 today, 58 tomorrow, and then it turns into a rainy pattern on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Not all day, but if it's not raining, there will be plenty of clouds. So I've got some showers and thunderstorms in there on Wednesday and Thursday particularly. We'll keep an eye on that, but there will be some back and forth for the month of April. It's kind of like the April Fool's Day that Mother Nature's throwing our way, seems like at times throughout the entire month. But I want to thank you for your time. I hope you have a great weekend. Don't forget, the recommendation is that you use new glasses, not the old ones if you have old ones from 2017. It's probably a good idea because it's your eyesight, it's your eyeballs. You want to protect your eyesight at all times, and it's a good idea. Diane says, keep the great forecast coming, David. Thank you for those stars. And Lana Johnson says, I think this is one of the coldest dogwood winters we've had, and there's still a little more left. Diana is also saying the app is awesome. I put all the locations I travel to and families that live in. It's also a good idea if you are setting your sights on going to some of these spots or a spot for the total solar eclipse. It also works. You can register up to 16 locations while most apps only give you 10. So there's some benefit there. Well, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.